This fragrance is not even going to be the one that they collect my coins on. If you're spending over £200 on a bottle of fragrance, you want that fragrance to go into the room, do PA walk and say, hello, my madam is coming, then you will now show up. This fragrance is just very complex. If you like risk, I think I have the right to say what I got to say. Should I say this one? It's not long lasting for the price of Amouage. Not that I'm going to necessarily take my own advice. Oh my god, this just sounds so yummy. Half of the price is the bottle, half of the price is the packaging. There's some that you buy, you're like, what happened here? If me and you, we have similar tastes and you trust my taste, okay. My name is Priscilla and I'm addicted to beautiful fragrance bottles.
Please subscribe, I'm hungry.
Hey Bambi, welcome back to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and become part of the family. In today's video, I will be talking about new fragrance releases of 2024. This is a video I tend to film every year, but because I've just come back on YouTube, please forgive me. By the time I'm filming this video is March, but probably it'll go up in April, I don't know. Regardless, I thought better late than never. And you know what, I've actually given the year 3 months to get all the fragrances out, and then I come share with you. Starting off, fragrance number 1 is a fragrance that the bottle, to be honest, really does appeal to me, and I really do look forward to actually sampling this fragrance or getting my nose on it. I'm so excited about the bottle. I have to put my hands up. My name is Priscilla and I'm addicted to beautiful fragrance bottles. I will buy a perfume because of the smell, but the second criteria, very close to the top, is the bottle. If the bottle of the fragrance is amazing or beautiful, it appeals to me. I just want to have it in my collection, just be looking at it. This fragrance is from Fragrance du Bois. It's called Sirene. I have a fragrance from Fragrance du Bois called Cavotte. The bottles are they're so heavy. I've talked about how heavy Fragrance du Bois bottles are. I personally feel like when I look at the costs or the price of Fragrance du Bois bottles, half of the price is the bottle, half of the price is the packaging, not necessarily the juice in the bottle. Sirene is an amber floral fragrance. The accords of this fragrance are cherry, amber, sweet, woody, earthy, warm, spicy, oud, fresh, spicy, nutty, and then fruity. This fragrance is just very complex. That's what it automatically screams to me when I look at all of those notes. The truth is, I'm not surprised. Fragrance du Bois fragrances are, in my opinion, not the kind of fragrances that you blind buy, except you and the person that is telling you about the fragrance have similar noses. You guys tend to have very similar tastes, because me, I know I will soon buy the fragrance and I'm going to come here and talk about it, and I don't want people to be like, well, you said we should not blind buy it, why are you not changing your mouth? No. If me and you, we have similar tastes and you trust my taste, okay. But if not, I just think that Fragrance du Bois fragrances, the money, the price, except you're a risk taker. If you like risky yourself, oh God, I just need to calm down. No, I need to stop. If you like to take risks, then you can blind buy this Sirene fragrance, but otherwise I would suggest sampling it before you buy it. Not that I'm going to necessarily take my own advice. My own is to come here on camera before me, so do this, don't do this. I beg you, cancel is not an instruction, it's just a suggestion. But it's such a beautiful fragrance, and it's one of the fragrances that I really look forward to sampling ASAP as soon as I can. Number 2 new fragrance release is Amouage Love Delight. Now I do have a couple of Amouage fragrances. I've got Sunshine, I've got Love Tuberose. At a point I wanted to get Blossom something. I've seen loads of people talk about this Love Delight fragrance. I'll be very honest, most of the people that I've seen talk about it, or the should I say this one, some of the people I've seen talk about it, it was sent to them as PR. Doesn't mean that I don't trust what they are saying when they say that the fragrance is nice. It's just that I like to get my nose on it before I invest money or buy it. Amouage fragrances are, what do I say? Amouage fragrances are very hit and miss. There are some of them that you buy, you're like, yeah, money well spent, and there are some that you buy, you're like, what happened here? For example, Sunshine is a nice fragrance, but I just feel like it's not long lasting for the price of Amouage. If you're spending over £200 on a bottle of fragrance, sometimes you want that fragrance to be beast mode, you want that fragrance to project, you want that fragrance to go into the room, do PA walk and say, hello, my madam is coming, oh, then you will now show up. Sometimes you don't get that with Amouage fragrances. Then there are some you will also smell and it's like, bro, what happened? Calm down. For example, Guidance, Jesus, that fragrance is so strong. I personally could not tolerate it. I also realized that when I see the people that like Amouage fragrances too, the kind of money they have, I'm still trying to get there. Maybe when I get there, there's something about the smell of Amouage that will appeal to me. For now, it's not all their fragrances that appeal to me. But Love Delight, the notes that I see in this fragrance sound like it will be tolerable. It has vanilla, rose, cocoa, and ginger. It's a soft and powdery and light gourmand fragrance. Very unique and very wearable. If Guidance is too much for you, Love Delight will be that balance for you. The only challenge is that because it is lightly powdery, it might not be long lasting. So you are talking about a fragrance that will last on you for say 3 to 5 hours. If you're the sort of person who doesn't mind topping up through the day, because I top up through the day, I put my fragrance in my bag wherever I'm going and I top up through the day, then you can get the fragrance. I think when I first started doing fragrance reviews about 2 years ago, I was very critical of fragrances that were not long lasting. In hindsight now, to be honest, if a fragrance is not long lasting, doesn't necessarily take away from that fragrance totally. Would it be nice if your fragrances you like are more long lasting? Yes, but it doesn't necessarily take away from a fragrance that is really nice if you don't mind topping up. I just top up because I like some fragrances and I just, yeah. Next fragrance on the list is a new release from BDK Parfums and it's called 312 Saint-Honore. 312 Saint-Honore. I hope I've gotten the pronunciation right. If not, you guys, I'll put the bottle on the screen. The notes in this fragrance is supposed to be an amber floral fragrance. It is a fragrance that can go on both men and women. It is gender neutral. It's got accords of musky, amber, powdery, iris, sweet, white floral, soft, spicy, and animalic. I know that BDK did like a soft launch of this fragrance and invited some influencers, I think, to New York a couple of weeks ago. A couple of people have gotten their nose on this fragrance. I haven't. I'm strictly talking about these fragrances from what I have read about them online and their notes, but because I also know what all of these notes smell like, I think I have the right to say what I got to say. This fragrance, for me personally, on one hand it's supposed to be amber floral, but I think it's going to be very musky because when you look at the accords, musky is at the very top. I don't own any BDK perfumes. At a point I was very tempted to buy BDK perfume. I can't remember which one now off the top of my head. I just never got around to buying a BDK perfume and somehow BDK hasn't been able to collect my coins just yet. This fragrance is not even going to be the one that they collect my coins on either because it is musky, it is powdery, it has iris, and by nature those are notes that just don't appeal to me. It doesn't mean that it's not a nice fragrance. If you're the sort of person who likes those sort of notes, then it might be a fragrance for you. Moving on, the next fragrance on the list is from Perfumery and it is called Sparkling Jo. For the longest time I was so tempted to buy a mango fragrance from this line, never got around to buying it. This fragrance has got top notes of champagne, bergamot, juniper. The middle notes are Williams pear, ginger, ambrette, and base notes of musk, oak, and ambergris. This fragrance is supposed to be like a bubbly, citrusy, fresh type fragrance, and that was why I was also tempted to buy the mango fragrance from this house. I think they tend to do very unique type fragrances. If you're into that fruity type notes, you're into something fresh, something with champagne, oh my god, this just sounds so yummy. It sounds like a gourmand but fresh take on a gourmand. Like, it's the sort of fragrance that I can just imagine you wear and you're like, oh, you want to go for brunch, you're in a very floral spring dress or summer dress. I think this will be a fragrance that would go beautifully on you. It's got a bit of spiciness there with the ambrette. It's got that ginger there, which might be spicy as well. It's got musk, but that's in the base notes. It's got some bergamot. It's going to be a very fresh type fragrance. So that is Sparkling Jo from Perfumery. Moving on, the next fragrance on my list is from Kilian and it's called Sunkissed Goddess. This fragrance has got accords of white floral, sweet, coconut, yellow floral, vanilla, woody, citrus, lactonic, fruity, and tropical. It's got top notes of neroli, bergamot, middle notes of tar flower, ylang ylang, and base notes of coconut, vanilla, labdanum, and guaiac wood. This fragrance again is another spring fresh type floral fragrance that will be very easy on the nose. Kilian fragrances, I think, in my opinion, Kilian has collected my money, funny enough. Of the fragrances that I have mentioned on this list today, Kilian is another house that has actually collected my money. This fragrance, I think, is going to be a very fresh floral type, easy on the nose, nothing too much, not doing the most type of fragrance. And for the price point, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. It's one that I would suggest that when you sample. In fact, there's no fragrance I have mentioned today that I won't say sample. Sparkling Jo is a bit of a safe buy because that one is just straight up fruity. Of all the fragrances that I have shared today, the one that I'm most tempted to purchase is actually Sirene from Fragrance Bois. If you see me with that fragrance, just know that I did tell you in this video that it might be coming into my collection. I'm hoping I can go and sample it. I'm hoping they've got it in Selfridges for me to sample, and then I can share my thoughts with you. That brings me to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Go ahead and let me know any 2024 fragrances that you're excited to smell, get your nose on, or you've heard about. Also, go ahead and do all of that good stuff, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And until I see you again in my next video, because I look forward to seeing you again in my next video, stay beautiful, stay blessed. Hi and bye.